Coming up, celebrating a massive moment for Kaizen culture and Australian karate with a recap of the WKF Teams Squad training camp and super seminar. We are also joined by a special guest, Hannah Sullivan, to get the juicy goss from that week in Bacchus Marsh. But all of that follows after our talented friend, Good Fortune. Welcome back to the Kaizen Culture Pod, where we are keeping the conversation moving within Australian karate. My name is Mitchell Durham, here as always with Nathan Blockley and now Hannah Sullivan. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be on Apple or Spotify, and we're also watchable on YouTube. Please give the podcast a rating as it helps us out a bunch. Thanks, Hannah, for joining us today.
No worries. You know, my favourite place to watch this is on YouTube.
Is it actually?
It is.
See, now that's awesome to know. I have no idea. See, I'm a big Spotify man.
Same.
Yeah.
Spotify all the way for podcasts as well. We're yet to get the video on Spotify, aren't we?
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that. If anyone knows, just...
Do you ever watch the video on Spotify?
No, I have no idea how to do that. I'm not that good.
No, just generally for podcasts. Like, do you ever watch a podcast?
No, I don't
Because
watch
I know, like,
podcasts.
Joe Rogan, other ones are on Spotify, and you can watch the video as well on Spotify.
Yeah.
But we've yet to figure out to do it. But interestingly, viewership-wise, it's actually a pretty 50-50 split between who watches and listens and who just listens.
Yeah, I'm a watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I would have thought it'd be like 80-20.
No.
Like, listen.
80% listens,
Yeah, right.
20% watch.
What do you like about watching it?
You get to, like, it's a bit more interesting. I don't just, like, sitting there, like, listening to your voices, but I get to see, like, your facial expressions. And
The
there's, like, it's like watching it's like watching a movie, you know?
Oh, it's very cinematic, this Kaizen
Yeah.
I
culture.
knew I did my hair for a reason. Mum, I'm not just a voice for radio. She didn't say that.
I reckon she did.
It would be a good joke, but she didn't. I'm a very handsome man.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounded like I had to convince him, man. Holy heck.
I'm sure everyone knows you, Hannah, but for those that don't, you've been competing for a long time. You're from Western Australia, represented the World Championships last year, Junior World Championships, all of that jazz. You're a very, very experienced athlete now. You're getting old.
Yeah, you feeling old yet?
You know, I on I had my 22nd birthday not long ago.
Happy birthday.
I was really upset.
Upset?
No, because I'm realizing my next milestones are, like, big. Like,
Which one's the next one?
it's either my 30th. I'm getting a house.
Thank God it's not the 25th. Because I was going to be like, I've already passed that. So
But I think 25 is like quarter century.
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought was a milestone, but I'm glad she didn't say it. So.
Or, like, getting a house or, like, married or having a baby, and they're very adult things. Very adult.
Yeah, we have no idea about any of that. Or you do. You've ticked off.
One out of three.
You've got the house.
The rest is...
Wow.
No, it's scary.
Anyway, but we've brought you in here today because we're talking about the team's training camp, and you were a part of that, which is awesome. What were your takeaways? What were your thoughts? It was quite a few antics, obviously within the dojo, but outside of the dojo as well.
No, I loved it. We did a Holy Moly Day. I don't know if everyone is aware of that, but that was good. I really hoped you were going to lose.
Yeah, everybody should be aware of that.
Yeah.
Because there was only one champion on the day, and it was this guy right here.
Yeah.
Not happy about it.
Who won in the girls group?
Oh, we all got a tie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Actually, 3 of us all got a tie.
Participation medals as well. Ties. What are you talking about? There's a competitiveness. You guys are the Australian team.
Yeah. No, Daniel Tillen was talking about the pillars of the karate at the camp, and one of them was the will to win. Us girls apparently have none of that when it comes to Holy Moly.
Or
Just
maybe
not
you
there.
all have it equally just as much.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys came first.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know about it, but...
I know in the boys group there was definitely that will to win.
Yeah.
I know it was me and Daniel like the whole way through, but also I came second in each 9. So I think Daniel won the first 9 and Ben won the second 9.
Ben came
but
in.
I won overall. And that's what matters. Anyways, we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. So, big shout out, first of all, to Wayne and Annie Noble and Max as well. It's his house as well. So he hosted all of us.
Putting
at
up
once.
with, like, I reckon, how many of us? 10 athletes.
Yeah, I think it was about
That's big.
11, yeah.
And they just let us kind of run amok in their house. They were like, you do whatever you want and just let us run free.
And we did whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
So nice. So like they've run camps before, since it was Camp Bacchus. You've been to one?
Yeah, I've been to one.
Because I know Beck was a part of a few of them.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a jumper and all that.
I didn't even know it was a thing before.
It's a
that
huge
week.
thing.
Yeah, big. Yeah, Camp Bacchus.
I'm sure
I
pretty
s-
much everybody else who's not in Shindo doesn't know about it.
Oh, I still call it Camp Bacchus.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing. So then they, I think Max was talking about bringing it back a couple of years ago.
What was it, like a week?
I don't know the ins and outs, but yeah, something similar.
I feel like it's a bit different every time. There was one time where they brought us to like a campsite. Yeah, and we all like caught a bus to a campsite.
Like
I
with
think it
tents
was
and stuff? Or dormitories?
like dorms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird, but it was really cool. And like we caught buses to the training center. I think that was when I was first going out for the world team, the junior
right.
world team.
I love that.
That's
Like we
so
did
good.
at State back in the day.
And Halliday.
And Halliday, yeah.
But yeah, the Nobles, like Annie is just an amazing host. Wayne, obviously, as well. So yeah, we can't thank you guys enough for allowing us to raid your house and also take your dojo as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you to the cooks that we had on the trip. I
Yep.
think you were one of them, Mitch.
Yeah.
And then we had Max as well and Liv.
Yeah.
Anyone else cook up?
I don't think so. I think we all just like cleaned otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Like
And
the
that's
lunches
fine. Hey,
was
that's-
a big shared.
I think Liv cooked a lot.
It was I think her meal was my favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos were good.
Good.
Tacos were good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving on to the actual training camp itself.
If you want.
Yeah, we can actually talk about that now.
I was going to mention Arlen Tony's cookies, but
Oh, the cookies. Yeah, Arlene Tony, that's actually
yeah, and
good shit.
Kerry Robbins cupcakes
Oh,
as well.
they were good.
Dragon
and
and
her
Sparkles,
cake
shout out.
Yeah.
was good.
Yes.
Yes.
It kind of just sounds like we had a week of fun. It wasn't even actually training. No, we did have training. We did it a couple of times a day, 2-hour sessions. And like I was saying, Robin came in for the first part. And yeah, I actually haven't done much training with Robin until now. Like I've done a couple of sessions here and there, been coached overseas and Oceania maybe, but to actually have like a full, 3 or 4 days with her, just like giving feedback and analysing, I was amazed. Obviously, she's an amazing coach, but
Robin's a vital part to being like coach and like a women's representative. Like, you know, if you're gonna look for a female strong lead coach, it's Robin. Like that was vital having her at the first half of the training camp, you know. It's a huge part. She, even just for little things, you know, like she brings in different perspectives. She's a strong woman. Like if anything I can give her, she's
yeah, she did a few demonstrations on us all.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
popped some gags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't hold back.
You don't want that coming for you. You can tell she's still an athlete.
Yeah. No, it's good because she's obviously the lead for the females team. Did she have any extra insight or word to you guys on the side that she didn't say to the rest of the group, or was there anything?
I wasn't able to be there with Robin. We did try and tee up our times, but it just wasn't possible with her schedule and my schedule. We just couldn't get there on the same
You
day.
didn't get a training session with Roman.
No, but
That sucks.
Did you guys? Oh, sliding doors.
But you know
Ships
what?
in the night.
I got her daughter. I got Georgie. So you know, it's close to second best.
It's pretty good actually.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are besties.
Yeah, she's my best.
It's actually very cute to watch.
Is
To
it?
see just you guys doing your thing and acting all cute.
Oh.
That's why it's nice to see.
Yeah, it's good. It's sweet. I mean, you guys have travelled together since like 2017.
Yeah. Yeah, 2017. We were young. We're still young. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not saying that anymore. No more age stuff. But isn't everyone on that team that's going to Pamplona was on that 2017 trip besides Iris because she's obviously just too young.
Yeah.
That was a crazy
Yeah.
realization when I
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
And we're all coming together. And me, Ben, Yoni, and George were all on the same. We've all been to the exact same world championships together.
Wow. Because also with 2017, I was there, Max was there.
Yelena was there?
Yelena was there. So most of these people that were on the team
They're all there.
are there now.
Yeah.
Good
The
retention.
retention rate is
Wow.
nuts.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah,
I'm also on the same boat as you, Mitch, in terms of Robin. I've never had Robin as a coach. I haven't even observed her much, but she really impressed me. I think one of the things she impressed me most about is like it's easy to just do techniques and do drills and like improve on speed or power or whatever have you. But in terms of like tactics and strategy, she gave some really nice insight, which I think even to you guys was really valuable. Like it's harder to give value to an Australian team member who has been and done it, been to World Championships, been to Premier Leagues and stuff. But you guys were actually like, oh, I've never thought of it that way before. And actually that's super valuable to me as a fighter. So I thought that was really cool. And I did bring a quote for strategy and tactics. So strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat.
Wow.
who said
Sun
that?
Tzu.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah,
did
but-
Robin say that?
Could have.
Robin dropped that gem.
Yeah, could have. No, but
Wow.
it shows the importance of strategy and tactics in Kumite. And it's something that you have to develop a bit later in your career. And it's very hard as a coach to provide valuable insights from that. It's easy to say, go to a jab gack and then do it better. But to be able to give that sort of insight, it really impressed me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the experience to back it up as well. You know, when you hear her talking like that, you're like, yeah, no, that's really good. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
And it proves, like, you know, she's her 2 daughters. She clearly it works.
Yeah.
You know.
And not only the experience, but she also watches all of the current fights, like watches heaps of events currently happening in karate. And we all know that karate's changed so much over the years. It's important to, what do we say?
She's
Keep your
with it.
finger on the pulse of these sort of tactics, strategy, all of this sort of stuff. So
Really important. Oh, she's good. She's also really good as a coach to have on the line because when she is your coach, she likes to stick with it and stick with you. I think I've had Robin as my coach since I was a little girl. And I can tell that she's tried her best to try and stick with me as a coach so that she can get to know me and understand me. And now she's built a whole relationship with me. So now when we go to the teams and we go to the Worlds, she completely understands not only who I am as a fighter, but who I am as a person and my personality around it. And I think that that's really great. I think she's done really well on that behalf.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you have someone to actually like latch onto you and just go, all right, I'm not just going to be here for your chair.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for the whole ride. That's the best thing about when the national coach.
yeah, how good is it when a coach comes up to you and is like, oh, what's your favourite technique? I'll scream to do that during the fight because I just don't know.
Yeah, knowing the ins and outs, it's wicked. I've really admired Robin for the last few years and what she's been able to do in the team space. So,
And then just generally training camp wise for you guys, there was nothing being held back from all of you. Like everybody was firing every day of the training camp. There were some hard hits, but you're going to have that when everybody's firing and everybody's trying their best. You'd see the development from the start of the camp throughout the camp. Like it seemed like everybody was improving. Everybody was getting takeaways and nobody was tired prior to as well. There was no tournament attached prior to. So that's really important in a training camp that everybody's fresh and you all look fresh. You all look fit before you got to the camp, and it was really cool to watch.
yeah.
Thanks.
It was awesome. Like, I think, it was unfortunate that you couldn't come to the first little part of the training camp, but it felt like from day one of anyone getting there, because Georgie came late as well. I think Ben came like a day late, but from day one, there was like a standard that was set from everyone, like, hey, we're doing this and we're going hard and we're going to push each other.
And it lasted.
And it lasted right to the end.
I actually think it got better.
I think knowing everyone like sort of made that deal with everyone, it sort of allowed freedom to go and push harder.
It's also just keeping everyone accountable, you know? Like if you say, I had a bad day on one of the days, Yelena immediately, she was straight onto it. She was like picking me up immediately. There was no delay. And it's that kind of attitude to keep each other accountable, keep each other lifted up, and don't let anyone get too low. That's really good.
Yeah, and in saying that, for the listeners out there, it's not like this training camp was just rainbows and daisies and you're all trying really hard and you're all improving. There was a lot of frustration throughout that camp.
going
like
around.
a lot of people saying like, this wasn't good enough or blah, blah, blah. It was great that you had everybody to pick each athlete up when that happened. But without frustration, there is no improvement. Like,
Yeah.
what's the...
I think everyone... Oh, what saying you think?
Yeah, the saying, nothing worthwhile is easy, or that sort of
And
saying.
the saying that you need to sit in your uncomfortableness, and because that's where you learn and you grow. Like, we were all uncomfortable throughout that scenario. There were parts where, at the end of the day, we recapped on every single part of the session, and just everyone went through and they were like, I need to improve on this, I need to improve on this and this and this and this. Everyone's sitting in that uncomfortable feeling, knowing what they can't do, and this is how they're going to improve on it because we're able to, we have that self-knowledge about ourselves.
And there was a fair share of tensions as well, would you say?
Yeah, that's what
There's
I
a
wanted
couple
to
of
say,
like, not just big hits and like making some mistakes, but like, I reckon there was some like
How so, man?
stuffy like kind of things.
Who were you saying stuff you to?
You had to be there.
I was, bitch.
No, it wasn't anything like malicious, but it's just like a case of like, like I don't feel good enough. And so then you take it out on yourself, and then you also like, you try too hard and then it just comes back the wrong way. And I think everyone had their fair share of those moments. But like you said, having someone like Yelena or even like Rory and Daniel really good at that, just like going, hey mate, just like, even though the day before they were having the exact same moment. So it's so funny, you know, you sit in there and you talk to your mates that are having that moment. You go, hey, like, don't think like that, be positive, or just try the next one. And then the next day you're in that moment and you can't listen to your own advice that you gave you. It's just funny. So
Yeah, the big takeaway from that as well, it was like, if you got frustrated that you couldn't score on somebody or that they were scoring on you and you're like, I can't believe this is happening, like that's not good enough. Guess what? You're fighting your teammate who's also best in Australia and one of the best athletes in the world. Don't feel so defeated that you got scored on this one time or that you couldn't score on them this one time. Because as you said, the next day it flips and it's the other way around. You know?
Yeah.
It was a very tit for tat sort of thing, which as a team, that's what you want. But you don't want a couple of fighters that are just destroying the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You want everybody to be at the same level, everybody able to score on each other. So,
And you want that at training too, you know, you want to be able to try and learn and do new things and accidentally get scored on and learn from it, because that's where you can learn and grow, you know? That's the space to do it. Even though we can all be really hard on ourselves and it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
that's what it takes. We want to try and achieve something that hasn't been done in a long, long time. So we've got to do something that hasn't been done before. So.
Yeah.
And I think we're all doing it in a great way as well. Like, as much as we compete and push each other on, like in the dojo and stuff, and it was shown in the last day when we had the round robin matches. Like this, it was fun, but we were competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And then afterwards, like whatever we're doing after that in the house, watching movies, like I think the connection piece of that is really like essential, because we can push each other, but if that relationship is tarnished on the outside, I just don't think we're playing to our strengths in that sense.
I think that's important with the movement that's happening now as well. Like, we're all trying to have more camaraderie, come together as a team, really try to do that, force everyone into a training camp where you're living in the same house together. You know, at this moment in time, it's really important to understand that friendship and that team environment is more important at this moment, you know, to push forward for Australian karate.
that is a fantastic segue into the second half of the training camp, which was Mark and Marco.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to say. So Robin had to take off and Mark and Marco couldn't make it for the first half, so it was a bit of a switch up. I wanted to say for their training from the get-go, the game you guys were playing, what was it like? Dojo football or something like that?
Dojo ball or something
Dojo
like
ball,
that.
yeah. So it was, you had to get it to the other end, and you had teams, and Mark and Marco joined in, and you could see that culture that was, you know, just vibing. Everybody was having fun, and so the coaches were getting involved as well. It wasn't like, oh, we'll just stand on the sidelines and just watch these athletes muck around for a bit as a warm-up. It was like, let's get involved. Like, we're all a team, we're all in this together, and let's all have fun. So
They're just as competitive as we are,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah. They were like arguing whether it touched the ground or not. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I think I actually bumped into Marco once and I was scared for my life. I was like, oh gosh, am I going to die now?
Mark came and jumped in front of me and I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
Do anything for the point.
imagine fighting him in his prime.
Yeah, that would actually be crazy.
Just now, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there much of a difference between Marcus prime and what he's at now?
They only had 2 days with us, unfortunately, just the way things worked out. But and by that time, we were all pretty cooked from the week of training. But what they emphasised was sort of an element of just letting go and like not being too much in your head, which I thought was really valuable for us because we've been working so much in the last few days about tactics and strategies and like going down the rabbit hole of being in your mind. What Mark and Marco sort of implemented was just do the drills that you know you're good at and, you know, execute them well on quality partners, which was, I thought was a really good way to finish off the camp.
Very important.
what stood out to me as well was that when you're an athlete and you're getting critiques all the time by not only yourself, but you're getting critiques by your friends, your teammates, because they're trying to hold you accountable, right? Your coaches, everyone's doing the right thing by you. There's just a lot of advice going around. And sometimes that's really hard to take in and process. And that's a difficult thing, right?
Yep.
And what I got out of Marco was that that's okay. And we're here to help you. You know, we're giving you these little things because we care for you. We're here for you. And because you're such a great athlete, we're not teaching you like all the technical thing. We're teaching you the minor things to make you an elite athlete. And I was like, yeah, no, I appreciate your help. And like that really calmed me to make sure that I am a good athlete. They're just helping me progress and to not get so down on myself and focus on letting that go, focus on the next point. And yeah, that was a tough one that was a good one to listen to because it's tough. I needed it at that moment in time. It was a good dad talk, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it the ones where he sort of pulls you to the side and just gets to the...
Yeah, holds you. It's okay, Hannah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's important to get the perspective of all the coaches as well. And we sort of had to pass on, I think Robin was also in communication with Mark and Marco, but it was good it felt like a really collaborative week. So back and forth conversations. It was definitely like two-way street kind of thing. Like, what are you feeling? This is what we're thinking, yada, yada, yada. And it just felt like, you know, we talk about the unity within the team. It wasn't just the unity with the athletes. It was like connection with the coaches and athletes at once.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, then we capped off with the round robin matches. I touched on it before, but on the Friday, we wanted to simulate some actual match-like scenarios where we're competing and it's actually getting some points and all that sort of stuff. So we had some volunteers help out for that day. So world referee, Dom Scully, who was also at the World Championships just recently.
Yeah, featured quite a bit.
Yeah.
Matches. Yeah.
Which is awesome. You got the names written down.
Oh, you do?
Oh, it's typed down.
Yeah, for you.
Damn. So yeah, we had Dom Scully, Lisa Scully as well, and is it Lisa Scully? So Maria Scully.
Maria Scully. Just
Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah, I don't know her last name. Lisa.
Also, I think we had all the Scullys besides Jess.
Yeah,
Joseph came along to help out. Ben DeBortley, Justin Robbins. No, Maria. It is Lisa Scully and Maria.
I thought, no?
I think Lisa Scully.
Oh, is it Lisa Scully?
Oh,
I thought it was Maria Scully.
But
I don't know them very well. That was the first time I really had a chat with them.
Okay.
So. My apologies.
No, that's all right.
No, I'm saying it to them, not you.
Robert Pryor, and then we had Kerry and Tabitha helped out on the table, doing all the things behind the scenes. Actually, we had Justin go back and get the laptop out and to put 2 screens up. So,
Justin was on it that
yeah,
weekend.
he
He
was
also
on
brought his karate bag.
I think he wanted some
Oh,
fights.
did he?
He was, I didn't have my stuff, and he was just handing out all of his colors. He was like, here you go.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, he had everything. He was
Wow.
sorted.
Yeah.
That's
good.
so good.
Yeah.
The karate equipment fairy. Just,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Yep.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came down and
Yeah.
watched because I think Shindo advertised it internally that there was a bit of a fight day on.
Mm.
There wasn't a whole lot of spectators there, but for the ones who did come, I mean, it's like watching final after final of the national championships or an Oz Open.
It's actually
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Super
that's true.
valuable stuff. And yeah, we had, as you said, Mitch, we had 2 scoreboards, like one on each side, and world refs, and the flags were okay, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was.
we didn't have buzzers.
It was good to have the flags back. I'm a big fan of the
Yeah.
snap
Are
of the flag.
you?
You like the joysticks?
I think I don't mind the joysticks.
I don't mind the joysticks, but I think I'm just like a purist. Like, I love the flag.
It's true.
Is it the joysticks or the screen pop-up
Ooh,
that you like?
I think it's the screen
It's
pop-up.
so what if you had both?
Ooh.
know?
So someone was there pressing. Oh, that's actually
That's
great.
actually
Pressing,
cool.
or you might even be able to put a sensor in the flag, so when like a big jolt. Oh, but you can't tell if it's. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to do it. But yeah, I think that I agree that the screen pop up is huge.
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
good.
It's so easy for
And shows you how many
spectators.
flags you get to.
Would you imagine if you could just see it? If there were flags as well, and you could just see the flags. Nah, big fan of the flags.
Yeah. Nah, it's good. I think flags, screen, and then a sound as well.
Yeah.
Was there?
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
they started with the sound.
The sound is nice. You know, when you're like on the mat and you hear it, you're like, yeah, it's good.
But I think when you've got like the World Championships when it's 10 mats, and then you've got sound after sound, it's
a bit much.
Stop fighting because you heard the sound on another
Actually,
map.
maybe thinking of it now, the sound is not good.
Okay.
Is the
For
sound?
finals, maybe. Where
Maybe
there's
for-
one mat.
Anything else you wanted to talk about the training camp?
Stop. We're done. 30
Oh.
minutes. Oh, no, we're
We've
just
got
there.
1
We've
minute.
got to take to I thought it was 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got to cut to a break, guys. We'll be back.
Okay, we are back. Don't know what we had to cut from, but we're back from the break.
Sorry for the aggression, guys. I literally, because for those who don't know, we have a 30-minute time limit on one of the cameras, and I saw 30 minutes on the timer, and I was like, oh, stop. We're discussing nothing, but we're back, yeah.
Like you said, we were deep in that conversation.
We were.
Yeah, and just to quickly wrap up, I was stoked for the training camp week. It was just amazing.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah, we
Thanks to everyone.
finished thanking the volunteers, didn't
Yep.
we? Yeah.
For sure. But then it led into the super seminar. This was a pretty proud moment for Nathan and I just to run our first ever event. Wild to think that, like, I had a bit of a moment there when we were setting up the event and, like, people started rocking in and I was just like, all right, so what's next? And I'm like, oh, we decide what's next. Like, we make the call of who starts and what's going on. So I'm like, oh gosh, this is our thing that we have to make sure we're running properly. like,
Mitch was waiting for a coach to come in.
yeah, I was. Yeah.
I think that was from the get-go as well. We were all standing outside the centre, and the centre hadn't opened yet, and they were opening just for us, and they were taking a while, and everybody was waiting, and Mitch and I were just like, where's this guy? Why hasn't he opened the door yet? My God.
He's 1 minute late.
Yeah. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, it was all good. Like, I don't know if it could have run any smoother.
No.
Was so stoked with everyone like yourself, Hannah, that helped out and coached for the 2 days. Yeah, I didn't think that you guys were going to do a bad job, but you guys so impressed me. Like, everyone that coached, everyone's like a born instructor, coach, leader. Like, it's amazing to see.
I think this was a really good part on behalf of both of your parts because I don't think anyone in the earlier years has really had this much representation or, you know, being able to be put on the media. So I guess it would have been harder for the kids to look up for someone because it wasn't endorsed so much. And you guys have done a really good job that now the kids are able to easily access us on social media. They're able to be taught by us now, which is the first opportunity for all of the kids to have. And I think that that's a really good job on your behalf. And you've given us the opportunity to be able to teach all of our experience, and the kids get to have someone to look up to, which I think is really good.
That
so good.
nearly brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
How good is that? Hey?
I'd actually never thought of it in that perspective.
Yeah.
Like how the senior athletes in the team have not been able to represent themselves to the junior athletes, and that this is sort of the first time that's happened, which is just
Far out.
nuts to
That is
think.
actually so cool.
This
Hey,
has been a really good opportunity, you know.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah. Yeah. Oh, it's really sweet. And you mentioned the media side of it as well. Like Nathan was working so hard all week. I think how many posts was it?
I did write it down.
Oh, you wrote it down?
It is 45 posts in 12 days.
Wow.
45 posts in 12 days.
Wow.
And honestly, like, I think that's phenomenal. That's great. Like, I was very happy with that. But also, that should be the standard for events. Like, Nationals and Oz Open, we've started to see it now that we're doing it. And there's been some Karate Victoria did quite a bit. All of this sort of stuff. That's what people want from events. They want to see 3-4 posts a day. They want to feel like they're there. I think that was a huge one for the people who weren't there. They felt like they were there and they felt like they were a part of it. And I'm sure hopefully there was a bit of envy about not being there.
They didn't get to learn all the tricks and secrets though, because they weren't there.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
it.
no.
We can't share them. We're going to go through the sessions, but we're not going to share the trade
not.
secrets. You're just going to have to come to the next year's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, there will be a next year's one.
That's it. Yeah, we're talking. It's so crazy. Like the moment that it finished,
the moment.
the moment we got home, we were just like, oh, how good's that? We did it. And like Wayne was like, so when's the next one?
And then I straight on my phone, when's the school holidays?
Where's the calendar?
When can we fit it in?
We got a bunch of feedback as well from the people that were there. Obviously, they liked it because they went. Some of the other people, the timing didn't match up just because of the World Championships and maybe Commonwealth and stuff like that.
That was a huge factor.
Massive factor. But if, let us know if this timing wasn't great for you. We'd love to know. If you want to do it at the start of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, like just because we want to try and cater to as much people as we can.
Yeah, when do you want to see it for next? Because I thought doing it in preparation for a championships is an ideal way to do it. And obviously most people just aim for like nationals, especially amongst the younger group. But also when there is, especially because a lot of next year's calendar is pushed early, there's not a lot to do in the second half of the year. So maybe this is a really good time to do a camp like this to make sure you're continuing your karate training throughout the year and not just finishing as soon as nationals happens.
What do you reckon, Hannah?
No, I think that's a good idea. You know what I also think was absolutely fabulous? They weren't just people at the training camp who were competing either. There were a lot of people at the training camp who, and I respect that decision so much, who came and they were like, I just want to get better at karate. I don't even compete. I just want to meet you guys, learn some cool things. And that's really, really cool. That's also a big step for them. That's scary.
It must be scary, yeah, if you don't compete and you're surrounded by, especially the Sunday, Oops.
Was that like kids, adults, more?
I think there was some veterans.
There were some veterans and there were some young girls there and some
Who had not really competed much?
Yeah, I sat down with one of the girls and she was like, I don't compete at all. I've never competed. I just train and I want to get better for training. And I was like, wow, that's really cool.
That is very cool.
Really cool. I was like, was this scary for you? She was like, this is terrifying. And I was like, I'm really proud of you. You've made a really big step.
Yeah, that's respect.
That's respect.
Yeah, it's that spending time in that uncomfortability zone.
That's it.
And I'm sure there were lots of kids out there who looked at the post and they were like, oh, I don't know if I should come to this because I don't compete. No, you take that big scary step and we are more than welcome to teach you all our cool tricks.
You are fantastic at shouting this stuff out.
Yeah. No, we're going to have you on here more. This is insane. Thank you, Hannah. This is great. I don't really know if we could hype it up any more than what you've just done.
I will just get into it, I reckon.
So the first session on the Saturday was a little bit of a workshop. I led that one just to really identify for the people embarking on this journey, like how to identify yourself as an athlete, first of all, and as a person and your values, and then your strengths and stuff like that. So making sure that your core is like always in check and you know why you're doing this. I thought that was a really good way to start it off and get some feedback from the kids and not just kids, the attendees, sorry. and to see why they were here, what their journey looks like, and why they do what they do, really. So I really
I thought
enjoyed
that
it.
was a huge thing to set the tone for the rest of the camp because, as I said before, like it's easy just to do techniques and drill techniques, but to actually challenge your thinking and say that this is more of an exploratory camp, like you're going to learn stuff and be subject to stuff that you'd never thought of before.
And one of the most important parts to karate, like at some point in your career, you're going to come to a point where you are scared or something's going on and you need to really dig deep and find why you're doing this sport. So that's a big aspect of it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was a good
And
session,
it was great as well with the other coaches, like walking around and just really getting to know the athletes and engaging with them. And you could see like Rory's just like having fun with the kids. It was just wicked. It was a good way to start it. Yeah. And then the second session, oh my goodness, was yours.
Me,
Yeah.
Your death
Miss
session.
Hannah
It
Sullivan.
was the death session. It was the death session.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was great. Footwork and distance control. Do you want to?
Yeah, well, I think it's the most important part about karate, right? If you don't have distance control, it's tough to fight.
It's tough.
You
out
know, and that's a really hard one to drill into kids as well because you're telling them, hey, your stance is really important. And some of them are looking at you and they're like, nah.
I don't punch with my stance.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're like, I learned this as a white belt. Hannah, why are you drilling me now as a... Like, it's really important and you have to work hard. I thought mine was going to be the easy session. I thought you guys were going to...
Go harder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a dig, maybe.
Jeez.
The other sessions should have been
I
a bit
reckon.
harder.
Yeah, well...
Well, 10 sessions over the weekend, Anna, like, it's got to
That's
pace
true.
yourself a little bit.
But
But
something you said as well in that, you said that even though the most basic things you think are non-redundant, whatever, you still have to do it every day, all
Yeah.
the time. You know, every session, you've got to drill these basics and the fundamentals because that's how it just becomes ingrained in your sort of your day-to-day training.
I'm big on a stance and I'm really big on a guard. And they're the fundamentals, you know, and you have to drill them and they're so boring and tedious, but they're the most, if you go into a comp and someone's fighting you and you don't have a guard, that's probably the first thing I'm going to get from you. Or you're not moving backwards, your distance control is bad. Well, that's the first thing I notice when you're assessing.
Yeah. No, it's good. I was stoked with that session. Everyone was gassed by the end of that. So we had a little short break and chit-chat with the squad and had a chance for some people to ask questions, which was really nice. And there was a bit of a snippet on Instagram with... it wasn't just Daniel talking about how he likes to sleep. It was other stuff as well.
No, but those are the secrets that you don't want to let out.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
I know he didn't want to let it out. Too bad, mate. You're on media the whole time.
Tommy was the third session in defensive options and strategies. I loved watching Tommy take this session. He's so good at teaching.
You see why he owns a club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just sort of flipping it, not just being defensive, you know, is like, or blocking or evading. It's like how to manipulate the two modes of defense and offense. And yeah, I thought it was a wicked session.
I also love that none of us, like, okay, the sessions were planned. Everyone, the sessions were very planned. But like none of us knew what each person was really going to take. And every single one of us built off of each other. That's some skill.
That's speaks to the connection of the team.
That's skill. We did good.
It did flow. Even the second day. Like I know because some people attended both days.
A lot of people attended both.
Yeah. And the flow-on effect from the first day to the second day and just like the connection right the way through was awesome. Yeah.
And Tommy's was the first like bit of strategy that everybody was exposed to. And there was a lot of corner work and like moving from corner to corner, pressuring people into the corner, when to go, even if you're in the corner, all of this sort of stuff. And Tommy, it was a really good start to that flow from Tommy's session.
And the kids grew. On Sunday, you're noticing that these kids are using...
Like 6'3" or whatever that. Sorry, that was a bad joke. Keep going.
It was really bad.
I liked it.
Thank you, Bill.
I liked it.
But like you're watching...
You're laughing, aren't you?
I'm laughing.
I don't always laugh.
Yeah.
No, sorry, continue.
But on the Sunday, the kids are like using things from Tommy's session, and you're like, that was 6 sessions ago. You're doing good, kid. Like,
Yeah, well done.
well done.
One of my favourite sessions was Ben and Yelena's. They were a great like dynamic duo taking that
So
session.
well together.
Yeah. The main sort of idea behind it was showing A, doing B. So your skills of A, like your first option, and then your second option, or maybe not second option, but like another way to score. And it's like doing one thing, but showing something else.
They're the best to take that class too.
Yeah.
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
It gets some people every time. As soon as they step on the mat, they're showing A and they're doing B, and it's hitting people's faces left, right, and center.
But that is the start to strategic thinking that a lot of these kids had never considered before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what is my opponent thinking in this moment? And it's showing A, then thinking that I'm doing A, but then actually doing B and scoring with B. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was, very valuable session.
So good. And then we finished off with combination work and continuous kumite. That was Max.
That was Max, yeah.
This is so good. He took a good session as well. The fun games at the start, and then just getting people to think about, hey, it's not over until it's over, until the referee says, yeah, mate. Like, go again.
And that is Max to a T.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't stop until a score is there.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
So Sunday was a bit more tailored to the elite level, national and state team members, 15 and above, just to try and drill in some more of that strategic side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, new faces. A lot of new faces for the Sunday.
Quite a few new people came along. And it was very similar to the first session, which was like knowing your strengths, but it was just like straight into it. So it's like, how do we manipulate your strengths to different defenses?
Because they're elite, they should.
They should know.
They should know what their best techniques are.
But there was some younger kids, like 15, where we just sort of sat down and say, hey, like, do this and work on it for like maybe 15 minutes and then drilled it against other separate defenses.
And you can have like a killer jab, but if you can't set that jab up, then it's going to be pretty hard to score with.
You got to be able to do that jab on everyone in different scenarios.
Well, yeah, there's going to be so many people that are like anticipators, circle fighters, just coming at you hard. Like, so you got to be able to do your favorite stuff and the way you like it on different scenarios.
Yeah.
So that was good to set that up. And then Laura took the second session, which was the match simulations. So it's about she created different scenarios, which was more so about, we were leading and then we were losing. So just mixing those things up. And I think we had little pockets of coaches.
Me and Daniel Thielen worked together for this one, and I not to brag or anything.
But you are.
But I will. And our kids, they were good, and our coaching, I think our group did. Not that it was a competition or anything, but our kids.
But
did
everybody's competitive, except when it comes to holy moly. No, that's a good thing to mention, that all of these sessions, it wasn't just one big group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody came together to listen to the drill and listen to the coach explain what they're after. But then they all broke up into, I think there was 6 different groups sort of thing, with each with their own small tatami and each with their own sort of personalized coaches. And the coaches did drift throughout the mats a little bit, but it was great that everybody got really personalised feedback instead of just one coach amongst 100 kids, and just you hardly see the coach other than when they're explaining.
Yeah, you didn't just get one coach. You got one lead coach, and then every other athlete.
Yeah, I think everyone managed to talk to everyone, which was good to see.
Something I know you were very concerned with, Mitch. You were like, I want to make sure I talk to everyone.
My heart was racing. I was like, do I just say hello to someone at least once?
Did you remember to breathe? Remember to take a big deep breath in?
I breathed at the end.
I think you probably said hello to everybody like 5 times.
Yeah, hi, did I say hello to you? You just said hello to me like 2 seconds ago. Okay, good. Just making sure. We're going to get through these a little bit quicker. Defensive options and strategies, which is, again, same like the Saturday one, but Liv took this one. Similar vibes, but a little bit more strategic, I would have to say. Yeah.
Kind of a lead on from Tommy's.
Yeah.
And good for national team members, state team members.
Yeah.
Again, hadn't thought about a lot of this stuff, but it's very important when you get to that sort of level to be considering these.
Rory's one was awesome, the grappling and clinch work and the takedown. So
I recorded it and I've already taken a class. Like I just put Rory up in my class. And I just went, Rory is virtually taking my class tonight. My kids just did a whole hour and a half class on
good.
Rory.
I think we said there could have been a whole seminar just on what Rory did. And I think
that was a feedback.
Yeah. I think he'd be like, I would love to do that. So
he was so good.
Everybody was a student for that
Yeah.
lesson.
I came running to people and I was like, can you teach me how to do this?
I think one of the kids asked me, he's like, so how do you do this? I'm like, buddy, I don't
Go
know.
get Rory.
I don't know how Rory does it.
So that was awesome. I think we need to do more of that stuff.
Yeah.
We've got to get better. And then the last one, Daniel Thielen took this one, controlling
teacher.
the tempo and situations in matches. So he just got people to think about why you compete as well and like what the things you need in here to be able to handle the tough situations when you're winning, when you're losing. So yeah, it was
You
awesome.
need to have the will to win. You need to have the want to win.
There was 3 pillars.
There were 3 pillars. The first one was the want to win, the competitiveness. The second one was, I'm pretty sure it was your footwork or distance. Footwork and then distance control, I think it was. I have written them down.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I can get them out.
No, it's. I mean, if you wanted to know the 3 in detail, you go to attend the camp.
That's true.
And he was last session as well. So it was 5th session on the Sunday, but also 10th session for the people who did both days. So like everybody's feeling it, definitely. But from the get-go, he picks everybody up. They do that glove game where you're all lined up.
It's a great game.
Just because you won, Mitch.
It's a great game. That's why you liked Holy Moly.
I think yeah, very true. I think that's you went from like the lower end and you went all the way up as you beat everybody. Wow,
Kids.
No, but that got everybody's vibes picked up and pushing for that last session. So I feel like everybody got a lot out of that camp, which is awesome.
All right, listener comments and questions, straight into it. As always, please let us know your thoughts and opinions and anything you'd like us to talk about. Send us an email at kaizenculture.com. Oh my God, kaizenculture.info@gmail.com. Or even just send us a DM on Instagram or Messenger. But we have got some feedback from the camp, from the seminar, sorry. We sent out a little form to the attendees and just wanted to see what we thought we could improve on. So most of it was pretty good, actually.
There were a lot of 10 out of 10.
There was a lot of 10 out of 10, yeah. There was some 2 out of 10. No, there was actually no 2 out of 10s. This one actually mentions you, Hannah.
Me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
This is from Olivia Appleby. Yeah, it's in a general sense.
Yeah, okay.
It specifies someone else, but the team was absolutely amazing to work with, super inclusive, and gave so much helpful advice. Special kudos to the senior girls as well. They were phenomenal, making sure that I genuinely understood the techniques. Further thanks to Liv for helping so much with my clinch work.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, so
that makes my heart warm.
That was from Olivia Appleby. She made it all the way from Queensland.
Wow.
She did the trip, did both days.
Yeah, shout out to all those kids who came from interstate.
Yeah, that's so nice. Those things really like warm the heart, I think.
Yeah.
Robert Pearson, he said a little bit of a tip here. He actually said like good things before, and then I just was like, I want the criticism. Let's go. Video the event and supply access to those who attended. More importantly,
Didn't I do enough?
future members of the team exposure to the experience previous athletes provided to maintain the Kaizen culture quality and expectations. I mean, yeah, we did heaps of social media stuff. I think there would be a space in the future to like maybe document it and like provide it to the attendees, but that is a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. But even those who can't attend for whatever reason, maybe if we did put lessons on video, that would be a valuable resource that they could just, it's like a webinar.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's just get Rory's seminar up there,
Just
virtual
Rory
reality.
talking.
Yeah.
I think everyone would love Rory, hey, just on the screen. You should probably take the session that I'm taking tonight. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna use that. And then the other one we had from Dominic Scully, head world referee. I think this would be a great learning opportunity for officials and would also benefit the athletes as they gain further insight into what officials are looking for when scoring.
Yeah.
That is so good. We had a little chat with Dom afterwards and just saying, he's like, hey, whatever you want to do with some referees, engagement, in the future, because it not only helps the athletes, but it helps the referees get better, and they can see things like this, and then we can understand, like what Don was saying, what the referees are looking for. So I think that's extremely valuable.
Yeah, I was only just learning that referees don't really have, like, I thought that they got like a little bit of teaching, you know, but they don't really have many opportunities. They kind of just put on the mat and they're just, they're reffing us.
They've got a 80-page manual.
That's so
Doesn't
tough.
teach you how to be a ref. It teaches you just the rules, and that's it.
Well, it's like, imagine this, right? So we just don't train throughout the year, and then we just
we just read a manual.
Read the manual and like how to punch and kick.
Yeah.
And then we just do state national comps, international comps.
No, wouldn't work.
I'm
Mitchell.
losing it today. I am not having a good day in the studio.
And then add on to it that referees, a lot of them have not competed themselves.
Yeah.
So they don't know what it's like, what a good score is until they actually learn it by being a ref.
And then they're just out there reffing a final and they have these athletes who are really frustrated at them. And they're like, come on.
Yeah, we all
We're
love
trying.
to blame the ref,
It's actually
but
so true.
maybe just cut them
them
a
some
little
slack.
bit of slack.
But
Not too much slack.
I never not score a point. I don't know why my points miss. For some
Yeah.
reason. Mine 100% always.
All the
score.
time.
Nothing wrong with me. No.
Then you watch back the video and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't.
Whoopsies.
Did you pick up anything from the camp or the seminar that was you feel like you want to mention? Any sort of feedback stuff? No.
Oh, I can hype you guys up a little bit.
No.
Here's
I
why.
mean, well,
No, I really think that representation of us is super important. And obviously the male team and the female team watching us all come together and obviously giving us the opportunity to actually teach. I've never seen anyone teach, and watching everyone teach was really cool. And I also got to learn things about my teammates. I was like, that's really... My teammates are so smart, aren't they?
favorite fruit.
But yeah, some people had some questionable fruits, but
know.
it's okay. It's okay.
What was yelling at us? White peach
I don't know.
or
Something,
yellow peach? Just
something
weird.
funky. I don't know.
No, anything? No?
Yeah, no. Probably wanted just to mention the training shirts. They looked amazing on
True.
everybody.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Punok for helping us with that one. I thought the design was amazing, and it sort of summarizes the fact that this whole camp, all the seminar, is all about promoting the athletes, especially for this one, for those going to Pamplona at the end of the year. So I thought that was just a really nice thing to see, just a sea of blue and Kaizen culture everywhere and Punok labels and you guys on the back of everyone. So
I think we got a thing last time where one of the coaches was like, you guys should really like wear full gaze or look united, like look the same. Didn't we just look amazing?
We looked very united in our own way.
We look quite cute.
Yeah, the
Quite
shirts are
professional.
wicked. And for those that are wondering about where they can get those shirts, you can never get them ever again.
we advertise that a lot before the camp. They are exclusive.
But stay tuned for some merch next year.
Whoop.
Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, now our next episode is obviously in 2 weeks' time, but it'll be our last one for 2024.
Wow.
We're taking a bit of a break. Nathan and I are going overseas, obviously World Championships, but we're doing a big holiday afterwards and just taking some time off, and then we'll come back in January next year, bigger and better.
Yep.
So
The next one will be about the team heading over to Pamplona, is that right? Just a bit of a laydown of all the countries involved. And then just stay tuned on our social media because the coverage of the tournament will be up on our social media for sure.
So excited.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for coming on today. It's
Thank you
it's
for
awesome
having
to
me.
have your presence here. It's a nice energy around, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll get you on again soon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited.
All right, as always, stay tuned for everything and keep updated with all the things on our socials. Send us an email, kaizenculture.info@gmail.com for any feedback and advice that you have. But other than that, see you on the flip side. We're going to press the button. I'm just going to do it now.
Aw.